Welcome back, guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Today I'm gonna discuss my thoughts on the Elden Ring DLC. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video. Firstly, we have to address the elephant in the room. Is this DLC too hard? I mean, if I spend my money on this game and I can't even defeat the first boss, is it really fair for the developer to expect me to not hate on this game? But yeah, let's get into it. So first of all, it's not a straightforward question. In my opinion, you can I have two takes on this thing. Is either you say this game is hard because it definitely is and you can quit, you can give up, or you can just keep on trying, because honestly there's so many tools you can use in this game to beat the boss. You don't have to be like those players that just like to stick to one build. In my opinion, it's a bit boring. I like to experiment. If I can't beat the boss, I would look up a guide. I'm not gonna be sad about it or feel bad about it or not get the same satisfactory as someone who beat the boss in their own way and set some unrealistic challenges or whatever. But point is, this game was made to beat in any way. Think of it this way. If the boss is really difficult and it has annoying moves, if you have moves that can do a lot of damage and also annoy the boss and finish the boss quickly, why not use those tools at your disposal? Why put yourself through torture, dying the whole time and being miserable because someone says get good? No, I feel like you can beat this game however you want to. If you want to summon, if you want to get a friend to play with, I have experienced that and I just enjoy it, as you can see in the background. Fighting with your friends and laughing and having a blast because you have a mutual interest and you like these type of games. It's just really good for the community, I think. Alright, next we're going to talk about the story. Now I'm going to have to admit the cutscenes don't give you a lot. If you read up and just focus on the lore and just do a bit of research, you might understand the story. But for me, I feel like these games don't really excel in putting the story down your throat. I feel like the boss fights, the world, the immersion, the fact that this game doesn't even have a pause button. So what that means is if you fight the boss and you can't just simply pause and think, okay, I need to breathe because this boss is too aggro. No, that you engage, you flippant can't pause because the boss will kill you. And another thing is if you in the world and you pause an open world and there's enemies in front of you, it kind of breaks that immersion. So I to get back to the story, so I think it helps with the immersion that they don't force the story down your throat. So if you just want to play the game without the story, you can do so. While if you want the story, you can then look up articles, discussions on Reddit, and even read the lore yourself. If you have the time and you want to explore, there's even things you can find, secrets, hidden secrets, so I just love that about this game. So in terms of the story, I don't think it has the best story for DLC. However, it's good enough for me to just keep on going and beating its boss, basically. So if you were like me, very confused at the end of the game, don't know what's going on and what you played, aside from enjoying the gameplay, that's what I want to talk about. If the story isn't good, then surely the gameplay has to be good for you to be keep on playing the game. You get what I mean? So for me, I want to talk about the gameplay. So you get a few mechanics and a lot of tools at your disposal. So if you want to dodge attacks, you can easily or mostly avoid attacks by rolling, or you could jump if it's attack that's AoE and you can't roll, particularly because you're gonna roll into something. As you can see, that attack, you probably have to roll out of the way or just full on taking attack, So when it comes to gameplay, I think they give you enough tools to be able to not get hit at all if you're that good. But also the variety of playing styles, the status effects, everything is so good and well about this DLC, Because in the base game, if you fought bosses, right, like particularly Melania, who's like considered the hardest boss in the base game, a lot of people after a while figured out how to cheese that boss. And FromSoft, I have to say, in this DLC, did a really good job by making the bosses in such a way that you can't cheese them. You literally have to go back to the drawing board, either change your build or go and explore more to find a weapon that will make the game a bit easier. Obviously not cheesing the boss, but just make it easier. As you can see with me, you kind of have to change your spells in the background just to take on normal enemies, because believe it or not, the bosses aren't always the hardest in this game. What makes this game good is not just the bosses. You would find enemies like these in the world, and they could literally give you a run for your money. You're the freaking Elden Lord, but they disrespect you like that. But my point is, that's what makes this gameplay so good. You have a variety. You can play with a sealed. You can play as a sorcerer. You can play with a faith build. You can play a strength build, a dex build, and heck, who cares? You can mix them all. If you are like level 300, you can have like a mix of all builds, an all-round build, as they say. So I think what makes this game stand out is the fact that there's not just one way of playing the game. There's a whole lot of like ways you can just enjoy yourself, whether it's like having a high damage build, or you just want to chip off the enemy, or like, you know what I mean. So the gameplay is really, really good and interesting. It never gets boring, and the replay value of a game like that is quite like insane, because you can play this game and theoretically not get bored. Now, although I love this game and it is a masterpiece, it does have some flaws that I think like FromSoft could potentially work on if they bring out a new title. This has to be the side quest, man. Like, flip, dude, I know that it's been like that for years, but in my opinion, bruh, like, imagine going from one boss and not knowing that if you take on this boss, you might screw up a quest line. One that you can't reverse, because this is a DLC. In order to beat this DLC, or to get to this DLC, you had to beat Radahn, which is not like easy, and Moke, which is even probably one of the toughest bosses in the game, or the base game. So it's definitely, you feel that when you miss a quest line or screw it up. So I would say they should definitely did what Life of Pi maybe did, and remind you that if you did hear some dialogue that you didn't understand, that you need to go to this NPC and talk to him. And I don't know, a lot of people don't like hints, but in my opinion, they could just maybe work on that without losing the reason why people love these games is because the game doesn't hold your hand forced down like where you need to go and all these things. That's cool and all, but flip, man, it really feels bad if you can't get a spell or you can't get a weapon because you didn't know that you messed up already. So I would just like to have some tips that will at least hint me or guide me into the right direction. Especially, I would say, like, I feel for reviewers in the beginning, like if there's no guides out and no tips and tricks that can help you, it will definitely frustrate you. But again, I do see the point. It's kind of be their thing, kind of been their thing. So I don't think they're gonna change it anytime soon. So lastly, I just want to kind of like summarize everything that I've said. This DLC is hard, but not too hard. It's definitely beatable. If this DLC was too easy, you would have finished it in one day. So I do feel like you get value for your money. You'll be playing this game for a while if you're not good, so get good. Anyway, but I would say I fairly enjoyed this. I like talking to my friend. I like posting videos. But overall, this was a masterpiece. It does have its flaws. So I do want From Software to work on it. Would I recommend this game to anyone? Definitely. Start with Elden Ring because you can't access the DLC any other way, but beating all the bosses will definitely feel good, and I really love this game. I can't really say or give you reason not to buy it. So bye. Thank you for watching.